Hi guys, my name is Tana. Welcome to today's Forearm Stand Yoga Flow. This is a highly requested video from you guys, so I'm excited to finally share this with you. This will obviously be an intermediate to advanced practice, but if you have never done or attempted a forearm stand before, don't worry about it. I'm going to take you through it step by step and make sure that the body is really nice and open and ready for it. And this is just one of those videos that you can keep coming back to. Just a few things. So I'm going to be using 2 blocks. So just pause the video and grab those if you have them at home. If you don't have any blocks, don't worry about it. You can also use books. So you can get 2 books, sort of ish the size of a block. And if you don't have any books, don't worry about it. We'll work without it. Towards the end of the video, I'm going to move towards the wall. So if you do have a wall on hand that you can use, then yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, cool. Last thing, remember to subscribe for new yoga flows every single week and give me a nice big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. All right, let's get into it. We're gonna start in a kneeling position at the back of our space. So you can draw your thighs together and just find a little bit of length through the spine, hands on the thighs. Okay, let's close the eyes. Just gently relax the shoulders down and back. And then let's take a nice full breath in through the nose, feeling the belly expand out to the sides. And then exhale, letting it out through the mouth and a sigh. Let's go for one more nice big breath in. And let it all out. And then gently you can blink the eyes open. And then we'll go ahead and interlace our hands, reaching the arms out in front of us, tucking your chin, broadening across the upper back here a lot. And then really breathe into your shoulder blades, into the armpit line, breathing in. And then breathing out, we're gonna go tall, lengthening out of our waistband. Draw the frontal ribs in towards the body and then take a stretch towards your right side. Keep the elbows straight here. And then breathe in, coming back up, and exhale to the other side. Nice, come back up to the middle. And then bend into your elbows, dropping the head into the hands, driving your heart forwards and up. Really breathe into your chest area. And then exhale, relax that, let it go. Okay, and then we're gonna draw the right hand towards your left side. Place the left hand on your right upper arm here and draw the arm towards you. So you're stretching here across the lateral line of your shoulder into your delts. And then let's change sides. Just breathing nice and normally here. Okay, very nice. Then take the hands behind you, interlace your hands, driving your heart forwards, really bringing that opening right into your chest space. You can tuck your chin here. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, let's reach the arms out in front of us, coming into a tabletop position, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, and finding a few rounds of cat-cow to warm up the spine. Breathing in, arching the spine. And then exhale, round and contracting the spine. And again, inhale, really make it exaggerated, don't rush, push the heart forwards. Exhale to round and like a cat. And again, inhale, lowering the belly down, lifting up through the breastplate. Exhale to round. Okay, one last time, breathing in, lifting up through your heart center. Exhale, round and okay, lovely. Looking forwards, we are going to come into puppy pose. So getting right into our chest, melt your armpits down to the floor and the inner lines of the arms as well. So if it's available to you, you can lower your chest and maybe the chin all the way down. If you're feeling quite tight and you're absolutely not ready for that, then just ease into it. But let's try to get a few nice full breaths in here. Breathing into the chest. Breathing into the armpit line. 2 more rounds of breath. Breathing in. And out. One last round. All right, very nice. Walk the hands back up. If you have a block, you're gonna place, or two blocks, you're gonna place both of your blocks on either side of you. If you don't have this, go for a puppy and try to get a little bit deeper and really focus on a few deep breaths. So just the pose that we came out of just now. So if you're here, place your elbows on your blocks, draw your armpits down. You can just lower your head down as well, hands draw together, and you're getting into your triceps here and really deeply into your shoulders. So melt your heart right down. It should not be painful. You don't need to push it as far as you can. Just breathe into it and stop at a point that feels okay. 2 rounds of breath. Okay, let's come out of that nice and slowly. You can take the blocks to either side of you. All right, then we're gonna come down onto our tummy. Just lower your chest down. Coming for a few rounds of Cobra, breathing in, drawing your chest forwards and up. And exhale, softening to the earth. And again, breathe in, keep the legs active and controlled. Exhale to soften. And then one more time, breathe into your chest area. Exhale to lower. Lovely. Taking the hands behind you, we'll lift the feet and the arms and the chest off the floor, keeping the chin tucked, lifting your knees. So just reaching for the space behind you, squeezing the tips of your shoulder blades together, really activating your legs and the whole posterior chain. Holding for a couple more breaths. Nice active shape. Strengthening the back body and strengthening your core. So see if you can lift your belly off the floor just a little bit. One more breath. Okay, beautiful. Soften down to the mat. Sphinx pose. Drawing the elbows beneath your shoulders, driving your forearms into the floor. Your legs are active here and you'll drive your heart forwards and up. Really push the heart through in between the gates of your shoulders. Take a full inhale. And then as you exhale, forearm plank. Tuck the toes under, let's lift ourselves up. Nice long line of energy as you drive back into your heels. 2 variations, you can either stay here or we'll start with London bridges. So dipping your hips from side to side, pulling your navel to your spine as we move. So engaging through our obliques and really getting into our whole core line here. So nice and strong through the legs, through the arms and our core. Important work to really prep us for a forearm stand. Forearm stand requires a lot of core strength. 5 more breaths, see if you can stay with it. And come back to your center point, Sphinx pose, lower your thighs to the floor and take a full breath in and a breath out. Soften your chest to the floor and we will push back into a downward facing dog, reaching back through your hip points. Okay, begin to pedal out through your feet here. Find that connection to the earth through the hands and through the feet. Bend one leg at a time and take a full breath. And then find stillness in your shape and we'll begin to lift our heels off the floor, tip forwards, high plank pose. And then exhale, hanging cobra, lowering your hips down, really getting into the front line of your body, pushing away from the earth. Exhale, bending the knees, downward facing, reaching back through your hips. A few more rounds like that. So really getting into the mobility of your spine, your shoulders and your chest. Breathe in, tip forwards, high plank. Exhale, hanging cobra, back body is active, breathe into the heart center. And exhale, downward facing dog. And again, inhale. Exhale, hanging cobra. Drive the shoulders back away from the ears. Downward facing dog, bending the knees, taking it all the way back. Last round here. Let's move with the breath. Nice, slow, controlled movement. Navel to spine, high plank. Exhale, hanging cobra, breathing into your heart center. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. On your next breath in, send the right leg high, find a three-legged dog, and then bend into the knee, flare open your hip. Breathing in, and then breathing out, step it forwards to a low lunge. Landing the foot down, drive the chest forwards, and press the hips down. Breathe in. All right, and then breathing out, sink the left knee to the mat, come into half splits. So keep this front leg straight if it's available to you. Flex into this front foot as much as you can. And then if you're feeling for something a little bit stronger, you can start to lean forward slightly, but try to have both of your hips facing forwards here. All right, breathing. Okay, nice and slow. You can rock forwards, pick the left knee off the floor, plank pose, step it back. Controlled chaturanga, halfway down. Breathing into an upward facing, lifting up through the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, lovely. Let's take it to the other side. Left leg lifts, breathing in. Bending into the left leg. Exhale, low lunge, step right through. Driving the chest and the hips forwards, breathing in. And then breathing out, right knee sinks to the mat, half splits pose. Feeling into that stretch. Okay, and then when you're ready, let's rock forwards. Plug the hands into the floor, plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to an upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now begin to lift your heels off the floor, sink your knees to the mat. Come into a kneeling position. Okay, just taking a breath here. So we're gonna come into our first round of dolphin now. I'm just gonna set you up first. So we're gonna bring our elbows down. Our forearms are in this 11-like shape. You're gonna spread through the fingers a lot. You're gonna drive the elbows and the forearms into the floor, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, just like we do in a down dog. Drive the chest towards your legs as much as you can. Now, if you don't have the hamstring flexibility, that's totally fine. You can bend your knees, that is fine. I just want you to focus on lifting your hips up and driving your heart to your thighs. Why? Because we're trying to find length through the spine so that we're not rounding like this in the upper back and sort of scrunching up all the way into our shoulders. Okay, and then if you have the flexibility in the hamstrings, you can slowly start to walk your feet closer to your elbows. Okay, and then continue to push away from the floor through your elbows. What tends to happen here is that the elbows start to splay out to the sides. So they sort of start to slide to the sides, and that is something that we want to avoid. So we want to continue to squeeze the elbows inwards and press into the floor, because otherwise our head is going to just go down and we're going to sort of have a bit of a face planting situation, which we want to avoid. So let's try a dolphin. We're going to be in a dolphin for a while, or we're going to do this a couple of times. So just get comfortable with the discomfort. Okay, let's lift our hips up and then taking a few breaths here. Pushing away from the earth and just breathing in and out through the nose. And exhale, lower the knees to the floor, come into a kneeling position, just taking a resting breath for a moment. Okay, so now we are going to start to lift one leg at a time. We're not going to come into a hop yet, so we're not there quite yet. Let's take the block or the book, if you have it, place it on the floor in front of you, and then you're going to bring your thumbs and your hands to either side of the block. And then you're going to drive the elbows into the floor and again come up into your dolphin pose. Okay. Same thing here, really driving into those elbows. Okay. And then I want you to walk your feet as close towards your elbows as you possibly can. And then we will start by lifting one leg off the floor, reach up. And then start to lift your bottom heel off the floor ever so slightly. And then exhale, lower that foot down with as much control as you can, changing sides.
Lifting the bottom heel and exhale. So just keep that going for as many rounds as you can do. Let's try for 4 on each side, okay? Nice and slow. Shifting the weight slightly forward into the forearms, but not hopping yet. All right, and then when you're ready to come down, just lower the knees to the floor and take a resting breath. So this is obviously very strong work. You'll probably feel yourself shaking and wondering how on earth you can stay up here. But that's how it is, that's how it happens. It just takes a long time to build that upper body strength, and also the brain and body connection that starts to build after some time. Okay, last drill before we get to the wall now. We're going to do dolphin dips. So you can place your blocks just to the side of your space and come up into a dolphin pose. Okay, and then you're gonna draw your nose towards your thumbs. So nice, slow, controlled movement as far as possible. We're gonna go for 3. If you're doing this at home, I recommend, if you're warming up for your forearm stand, to do a few more, like at least 7, so that you're nice and warm. But we're just gonna do 3 here, because I know you guys are tired and have been doing lots of work. Okay, you can come down onto your knees, and then we're gonna bring the mat to the wall now. So find a space that you can put your mat just right against the wall. We are now at the wall. So what I want you to do is stretch your legs out in front of you facing the wall. Legs are straight, and then make a note with your hands where your hips are. And you're gonna turn around and bring your elbows just in line where the hips were, okay? Drive the elbows into the floor, making sure that your elbows are in that 11-like shape. You're gonna bring yourself into a dolphin shape first, and then slowly walk yourself up the wall, okay? Nice and slow. So it's sort of this L-like shape, legs up the wall shape, pushing away from the floor through the elbows and making sure that you're not collapsing into the shoulders. So keep pushing away from the floor. So the tendency here is to keep the legs sort of all the way up here. You want to keep the legs in line with your hips, okay? So I don't know if my legs are exactly in line with my hips right now, but that is the idea, okay? We're going to be here for a couple of breaths, just getting used to the feeling of being upside down. So you want to be here for quite a few breaths just before you attempt the forearm stand. And then nice and slow, you can come down onto your knees and take a resting breath. Okay, it's really strong work. So we're going to try that again, and what we're going to do this time is start to lift one leg off the floor at a time. One leg slowly lifts and comes back up. So when you're ready to do it, go for it. Take as much time as you need. If you need a few breaths to rest, that's totally fine. Okay, and then we're going to lift one leg up, and then lower it down, and then the other leg, and down. Try to keep the movements as controlled as you can, yeah? So your legs aren't sort of flinging everywhere, and you maintain that connection through the elbows into the earth. Okay. All right, let's go for one more round. And then you can slowly, once again, come down whenever you're ready, nice and slow. Okay, so just something I want to mention here. The reason why we are not doing it the other way around, as in facing the wall like this, is because that will never allow you to build the real strength that you need for a forearm balance. And you have a tendency to build bad habits because you get into a banana back where you really get way into your lower back, and you're just never going to get into a strong forearm stand or a proper forearm stand when you do it that way. So this is why I recommend it this way, even though it's much harder. If you have a huge fear of falling, first of all, we need to get over that because it is in your head and you will fall. That is something that will happen. But a mattress in front of you or pillows, like a nice big stack of pillows, that will definitely help with that. Okay, so now we're gonna get into it. One more time, let's get into our dolphin and walk yourself up. Lift your right leg up. And then nice and slowly, you're going to see if you can hover the foot that's closest to the wall slightly off of the wall. So just getting used to the sensation of drawing the weight into your forearms. And then if you're getting that, bend into the leg that's closest to your bum and pull that foot closer towards your bum, if that makes sense. You might have to have a look at me. I'm just going to give it another go on the other side. So lifting the other leg, drawing that foot closer towards you, okay? It's really strong in the beginning. And then you continue just like that, okay? And that is the work. And then once you find like you have a little bit of hang time and you're more comfortable with getting used to having the weight of the body in your forearms, I'm just going to quickly take you through of what it looks like to have a proper forearm stand with that nice long alignment with both of your legs up. Okay, so that's later on in the practice. Okay, so I'm just going to show you this. I'm not going to use the wall here. So it's sort of same thing here. You're going to lift one leg and then find a little hop, and then you're going to draw both of your legs together here, if I can manage, and you're going to squeeze the thighs together, so drawing the tailbone in, drawing the frontal ribs in, and the same action here is continuing to push away from the floor through your elbows, okay? And then nice and slowly bending into one leg, lowering one foot at a time to the floor. You can get there if you come and practice every day with me. I had absolutely no strength in my upper body when I started yoga. I mean, zero upper body strength. I was tiny little skinny thing. So trust me, when you put your mind to something, you can do it. I recommend coming back to this video and doing these drills as much as you can. It's really going to help you build that strength. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this practice. Let me know how you went in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Give me a nice big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and remember to subscribe for new yoga flows every single week. And also follow me on Instagram at tana.yoga. And yeah, I hope to see you soon.